stocks will be reacting to news. To help us out with a quick analysis on some of them, we have market expert Hemang Jani who joins us on the show. Hi Hemang, good morning. Well, let's talk about SJVN. It had plenty going for it. Yesterday as well, there was some good news that came about. And the government of India, I would think they're doing the smart thing, right? They're taking some money off the table. They've launched an OFS. They priced it at a base price of 15% discount in comparison to yesterday's close. Your view on the stock?
Yeah, good morning, Nigel. So we've seen a very smart pullback across the PSU names, be it power, defense, railway, so on and so forth. And if you look at the movement, some of the stocks have moved up anywhere from 50 to almost about 250%. Now, there is not a corresponding, improvement in the core fundamentals of the company. And typically, we've seen that the government keeps doing OFS, and that is not good news for the market, particularly when the stocks have really run up so much. So I think that at these valuations and prices, there is a risk of additional supply coming into some of the PSU names, be it SJVN or whole host of companies. So it would be prudent to kind of stay away from the PSU names at this point of time, particularly non-banking.
Hemang, hi, good morning. I wanted your thoughts on how to approach the entire IT sector now, because there's been a bit of a comeback. But, now with sort of the Fed saying that rates will remain higher for longer, we saw a fall in the NASDAQ as well. Do you think the IT sector could take a bit of a backseat? And as a long-term investor, how do you approach it?
I think, Sonia, what we've seen is that the mid-cap IT specific names have done well, be it platform companies or some of the niche companies, Persistent System and LTIM and so on and so forth. But the large cap ones were underperforming. So I think given the recent developments, where in the analyst call, the companies have said that the deal flows continues to be reasonably okay. And we do not see any material risk to the earnings per se. So I think TCS, HCL Tech, these two names do look good. I think midcap is where, because of the way things are unfolding in US, you might see a little bit of a profit booking or, some sort of a correction. But broadly, IT, the large cap name should hold well.
Right. Hemang, hi, good morning. Two names, one stock and another group of stocks. One is HDFC Bank. After yesterday's near 4% cut, what would you do? And second is all these old economy names, right? Power Grid, ONGC, NTPC. These are the names which stood out yesterday. I mean, throw in a Power Grid there as well. So any thoughts here?
So clearly, HDFC Bank, I think the analyst call, there were some, concerns about the NIMs, about the growth, at least for the near term. But if you look at the stock, it has actually underperformed big time in the last, let's say, about 1 year or so. And the valuation continues to be reasonably okay at 3.2, 3.4. So I think maybe for, short term, the stock may underperform, but I think it provides a good entry point. Now that we've seen such a sharp cut on a single day, if you see a little bit of weakness, I think it provides a great entry point because the risk reward continues to be favorable. And as far as the PSU names are concerned, as I outlined before, some stocks are doing well. Let's say NTPC, Power Grid. So maybe it has something to do with the certain index rebalancing and the flows expected over there. But in terms of valuations, in terms of risk reward, that space is looking frothy. So I think it would be best to avoid that at this point of time.
All right, Hemang, I wanted to ask you about the platform company, the stock exchanges actually. You have MCX, they're going to be going live with a new platform by the end of September. You have BSE that's been trying to give a bit of a fight to the NSE, though the NSE is the dominant player. Your view on these, companies, which one would you go in for or would you avoid them?
Nigel, a lot of things are going for exchanges, be it in terms of the volumes, in terms of the new demat accounts being opened, the ADTO on the cash segment. We are seeing a very good traction, coming through. MCX, because of the, technology issues that they had to pay a huge amount of money last couple of quarters. If that stops, surely it's going to be great. BSE, I think this F&O part, where there is a lot of traction, could be a big game changer for them. And I think that there was a buyback also. So I think BSE is one stock, from an exchange participation point of view, till NSE is listed, people would really want to participate. Even CDSL for that matter should see a good amount of action basis the participation by retail into the market.
All right, Hemang, we'll need to take a short commercial break. We'll come back with lots more on the markets and we'll speak to you again later. But Hemang Jani is still with us, so we're going to, get a couple of cues out of him. Hemang, yesterday the big talking point, of course, was HDFC Bank and, the bank stating that there will be an impact on the margins, on the net worth because of the merger, right? As a long-term investor in HDFC Bank, what do you do now?
Sonia, before I move to HDFC Bank, to that pictorial graph which was put out, I think we should also put S&P movement along with the height of the Fed chairman, because that will give you slightly more understanding of how the market has behaved even while the rates were going up and down, right? So coming to HDFC Bank, surely think that the recent analyst meet, there were certain negative takeaways in terms of NIMs, in terms of growth. But what we must understand is that now the valuation of HDFC Bank is almost at about 3.2 adjusted book next year. And with the growth expectations setting a little on the lower side, let's say about 14-15%. So that makes it a little more interesting and attractive from an investment perspective.
Okay, that's on HDFC Bank. Got it. Let me also since it's 8:50, let me